But then actually I also received a lot of apologies from family and friends for the past years. And actually my sister, for example, or other people from my surroundings came to me and told me, sorry, apologies, you were right, and so on. So this was also a big motivation for me to keep going.
Many of us know that virology has not followed the scientific method, and the virologists have failed to perform valid control experiments. We've written articles and essays and made videos explaining why the virus hypothesis has been refuted on multiple levels. The evidence for pathogenic viruses is sorely lacking. The mainstream controllers are trying to keep this knowledge suppressed. But now they have a new problem. Marvin Haberland is a German engineer who has worked out a way to get the virus existence issue into court. His case should require the virologists to provide evidence that they followed the scientific method when they claimed that SARS-CoV-2 exists. And it looks like they are running out of places to hide. Welcome, Marvin. It is so lovely to have you back on the show with me and to talk more about the court case. I'm really excited to hear what's been happening. But before we get into the court case itself, I'd really like to hear what kind of happened to you in between October and now.
Yeah, so basically I received this letter from the court that the judge is sick 2 weeks before, and then basically I gave them a couple of calls and went there a couple of times to see other court cases that used the exact same argumentation, which was provided by me and Next Level. So basically I checked on 3 different trials before mine, and they all followed the same strategy. And 2 of them were actually also done by the same judge, and all of them got closed basically. So all of these people didn't have to pay any fine or whatever. And then I gave the court like 5 calls over 3-4 months, and they always told me like, yeah, the judge has the case, you will receive the new invitation. And then basically I just received a new invitation like 4 or 5 weeks ago, I think. So basically I have been waiting almost half a year.
Yeah, because it was like it's at least 6 months, and then, but I mean, you had a delay even getting to your place. So your original, court case. Why? So, okay, let's get into it. To learn what actually happened during the case, and because there was about 100 people, was it, that turned up? Walk me through what happened.
Coming to this court case, in the weeks before, we issued some interviews. I did it with Thorsten and with Catherine and some others, and we just tried to, make it more public again, so that we had public attention on the day, which actually worked very well. We had like 100 people, which for this court is a lot, because the room is very small. Only like 40 people can come in this court room. And then basically I came in the room, and then the judge read the paper and the fine again, and then I was able to make my points again. And then I stated basically the argumentation. I repeated the argumentation that the law of infectious disease is basically not fulfilled, but actually broken because of paragraph 1. There is no scientific rules and no scientific methods in virology. So this is basically lacking control experiments and so on. So the judge just called in a police officer, which was there as a witness. It was the police officer who gave me the fine. But when she sat down, she couldn't really remember. So basically, she was interviewed almost 10 minutes, but she was not able to recall anything. So she just left the room without any basically new information. And then the judge told me, I will close the case now. I will not bother you anymore. He said, like, I'm quoting, I will not bother you anymore. I will just close the case. And I was like, okay, why are you closing the case? Why are you not, issuing a sentence or an official statement? And then he said, basically, this is, he doesn't think that this would be necessary. And as I already received another fine in the past, I talked about this during our past interview, that I tried to accumulate as many as possible to get this closer, or to get this done. So he basically told me that, yeah, I closed the case because you received already other fines, which doesn't make any sense, because usually if somebody has more than one, then he actually gets fined, and not closed the case. So it doesn't make any sense. But they just, it was already planned before this. The strategy was clear. He just wanted to close the case to avoid any further damage to virology, or to making to open this box of Pandora, basically, and also to avoid personal problems, because there was another judge in Germany 2 years ago, or 1.5 years ago, who actually went against the policy of COVID, and he was basically suspended, and his home got checked by the police. They went into his house and so on. So I'm sure the judge doesn't want this to happen to himself. And then it was closed like the other 3 cases before mine. So all in all, with this strategy, we won 4 cases in Germany, and the court is basically helpless. Okay, they just close it, which is very interesting, because from this point of perspective, if the court had any possible chance to win this, especially in my case where I made it public, they would use this option. They would try to somehow make a precedence on my case, and to show everyone, look, these people are stupid, they have no chance, and virology is actually a thing. It's scientifically correct. But they didn't make this. They just closed the case 4 times. So this is also fine for us, because we can show and demonstrate to everyone that there is no fundamental substance behind this. Nobody would ever have to pay a fine using the strategy. It's very easy to see, and it's also very obvious to see how the court and the judge act here. They just try to put it under the rug, so to say, and hide it.
Yeah, it's really interesting, Marvin. So just what was the point of the policewoman? Was she just there, like, not remembering? Like, I don't kind of understand what the kind of, if she'd said that she could remember, then would you get it into an argument with her about virology? I don't kind of understand the point of her being, like, what that was.
She was invited due to the formal way these court hearings, these court trials are just held. So this is the standard. If there is a witness, and in case of a fine, the police officer is always the witness, they get invited automatically. This is just a standard procedure. And she could have sent the court actually a letter or any statement beforehand saying that she does not recall, but of course they also get a day off work and so on. So she basically took this opportunity to come to the court, take a day off, just 5 minutes, say, I don't recall anything, I don't remember, and then she gets out. So it was ridiculous, but very funny also.
Yeah, that's classic. Yeah, I like the day off. Yeah.
Of course.
The other thing I remember you talking about last time was you couldn't
you couldn't force the judge, obviously, to go further into the arguments because, like, didn't you say that if there's enough public interest, they can't close they can't stop it? Or is it that's, I suppose, once the judge starts going into this thing, I'm closing it, there's not much you can do?
No, there is not much we can do, because in these court trials that are related to fines in Germany, the court has always the possibility to close it without any, reasoning. They can just close it. It's written in the law, actually. So you are basically helpless. And usually this is a good thing, okay? Because you don't pay the fine, you won the case, actually. But in our case, it's a kind of a disappointment on the other hand, because we would like to have an official statement, and in that case we don't get it. But usually this is something good for the people, and therefore the judge might be also somehow confused, because we pressure him, we want him to make a public statement, and he knows exactly why we want this. I told him that it is his responsibility to do it. And I also told him that I don't trust that he is independent. There is...
sorry, what did he say to that? That's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
line.
there is the chance to... I mean, everyone who is in the court can basically claim that the judge or any participant is not independent. So this is your right, you can do it. And I tried to do it, but basically he did not allow this, because he was very clever. He told me that the case is already closed. So what I should have done is I should have asked him right in the beginning if he actually followed my advice to basically ask for any scientific witness or like a scientific report. I sent to the court a request to do this. And I should have asked him right in the beginning, have you done this? Have you asked a virologist if my claims are correct? And but I was kind of excited and I forgot this. And I even talked about the strategy with Stefan Lanka one day before, and I just forgot it because I was so excited. And this was kind of a little mistake, because then he just closed the case, and then I could not, claim this or use this right that I have. But I mean, even if I had done it before, like during the running process, in the first 5 minutes, then this would just lead to maybe 4 or 5 weeks delay, and then another court would decide that my request for independence would not be allowed or something like that. So in the end, it would be closed anyway. So it's fine. I don't mind.
What you've done is still just amazing though, Marvin, because I think, even though I know what you mean, you're like nervous, excited of what's coming, and you make little mistakes, but it makes you stronger every time that you do these things, that you think, I can do this, and you show other people that you can, that they can do it too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this video and interviews have more than 200-300K views in Germany, which is a lot. And it's spreading a lot, and many people are using these templates in Germany for their own court cases. So all over Germany we received these feedbacks, and also on that day many people came to me and actually told me that they have running cases, sometimes even in the second level, like in the higher court already. So we will now follow up with them with next level and look into these cases and support them, of course. So we still have some bullets, and it's not over yet. But I mean, we already achieved our goal, which is to show everyone that there is no fundamental substance behind virology, that it is unscientific. And the court basically confirmed this by closing just 4 cases, which would be technically impossible if there was one little chance that the court would have to win, they would use this, but there is none, so they had to close the 4 cases. Yeah.
It's this wider movement that you've really started too, because it's not just masks. This applies to all of the kind of draconian I suppose tyrannical controls that have been put onto the population of Germany.
Yeah, masks, lockdowns, if you left your house, if you met with more than 2 people or 3 people during a specific time, any fine related to this nonsense. And also, if you extend this further, there is since 2020, there is a measles vaccine mandate for children. So you cannot put your children in school or kindergarten. I mean, it's possible, it's very difficult. And all parents that are subject to this new mandate can also use this argumentation, because this mandate is based on the law of infectious disease, which again, you can attack by using the first paragraph science argument, and that's it, very easy.
Is there any way that they can change that first paragraph and remove the scientific controls?
Yeah, they could change it with the with the vote in the parliament. They just need a majority vote, and then they can change it. But if they change this paragraph, and then everyone would immediately understand what is going on. So they cannot possibly change this. They have to stick with it, and what they're trying to do is just trying to hide the information, just closing the cases, because they are running on the process that the majority still doesn't know this, and it works therefore. But as you might imagine, we are technically above like a pinnacle, like the tipping point, because so many people now know this, and I think in the next pandemic, or even with these measles vaccine mandates, it might be very difficult for them to keep this running, because so many people are using this strategy now, and it's bulletproof. It's 100% bulletproof. We have hundreds of letters from virologists all over the world that are confirming they have not done the control experiments specifically in the genome sequencing. Nobody has done them. And then we have the German Association of Science, which clearly states in multiple quotes that you have to control your methods and so on. You should not publish any paper before you are done with all the methodical steps, even if there is economic pressure or political pressure and so on. We have all these rules in Germany, so it's a bulletproof strategy here. Yeah, you just have to do it in the right way, and then there is no escape hole or no angle of attack for the court or for anyone.
Is there a possibility of doing, I guess, like a class action at a second tier or a third tier with, I don't know, because there must be loads of different people, like you say, that have had problems with the masks. Is there a way that could happen, or not?
You mean like a class, like a more than one person that go to the court in one group, let's say? I'm not sure that this is possible in Germany at that level. You can do these class called Sammelklagen, but I'm not sure that in the COVID fines, there would be a way to do it. But I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not sure. I know that Rainer Füllmich, which is a German lawyer who was very engaged during COVID, he tried to do these class fines and going to the court with 20 people or even more with the PCR test. But I didn't follow up on this specifically. I know that in the US and in most of the Commonwealth countries this is possible, but I'm not sure in Germany actually.
If these 4 cases have overturned, does that have implications, or just been stopped? Does that have implications that other people that have paid for fines can get their money back?
Yeah, this is already the case, even in the mainstream, because some weeks ago there was a court in Germany who actually opened this possibility for many people to receive money back, and to let, like, if they were fined and if they paid in the past, they can send a request to the court to get the money back, and the court would have to check if this fine was really necessary. For instance, sitting in a park on a bank with two people were fined because of this, and in that kind of cases, people would receive the money back. So this is already official in Germany, even in the mainstream. But for masks, this is I'm not sure if the court would just pay all the money back, because they made a substantial amount of money with all these fines, over 100 million, I guess. I'm not sure. I don't know the figures, but a lot of money. And if everybody would ask this back, would be a problem. But so technically you can do it. Yeah, if you have been fined, you can go to the court and let it check again. That is possible.
You would recommend everyone to do that?
Yeah. Using not necessarily the argumentation, because the court would just first check if in the mainstream view this was unnecessary, and most of the time that is the case, even in the mainstream, like I said. And then if they come to the conclusion that the fine is valid, then you go with the argumentation of paragraph 1 and so on. Not sure how that would work actually, but I think people would need a lawyer for this.
I get the sense, Marvin, that they're very scared of you.
Yeah, might be. I think due to the public attention and due to the very clear argumentation, it's very difficult to attack me publicly. You cannot put me in any in any box, or you cannot frame me because I'm just staying at the scientific argumentation, and I have all the proof from all the virologists. So the best that they can do is just to ignore it and to just close the case. So that's it.
Yeah. But have they tried to smear your character or do anything that way, or not? Or they've just ignored?
No, just ignore it. And I have not, up until now, I have not received anything negative. Everything has been working very well for me, and I didn't receive any negative feedback. Even I have a Cyram, a Wikipedia entry now. I don't know if you know this page. It's like a wiki page for so-called conspiracy theorists. So I received a couple of months ago an entry there, and they even stayed where I work and so on. So I was a little bit concerned this might have implications, but no, everything is fine. So also, honestly, I'm basically using an argument saying that there are no control experiments, and this is true. So nobody can potentially argue against this. It's impossible.
Yeah, I think, well, you're known in circles that I'm in as Marvelous Marvin.
What?
You're known as Marvelous Marvin. So I don't think you have anything to worry about.
This.
What do you think going forward, Marvin? What should be the strategy? Where do you see things? What should be the next step, do you think?
Yeah, I think the next step would be to not stop now, but actually continue to spread public attention to these topics, and then to slowly degenerate the pharmaceutical industry by more and more people stopping to buy the products like the vaccines and other drugs, and actually also making people more aware about the importance of nutrition and food and so on. So on many different levels. And then what would happen is that the pharmaceutical industry would basically just lose a lot of sales and a lot of revenue streams over the next 20 years and so on. So we just need to keep this going, because our goal is to have like a honest or a scientific situation in medicine and health, and to create also a better future for all the people. So this is the only way to do it. And I can already see, even in the mainstream people around me, that they are now very, very unlikely to take a fourth or even fifth shot. Nobody would actually do it. I've never encountered anyone who would take it. And basically also other vaccines, they will not take it, flu shots or anything like that. So yeah, I think the golden era of revenues via vaccines is almost over. They are trying now to introduce mRNA vaccines for cancer and so on, but the people, I'm sure they are now very aware of what has happened, and they will be very careful with that. I think we already won, basically.
Yeah, I think you're right too, Marvin. That's in my heart. That's what I feel, is that we've already won, and there is this tipping point that's reached, and and people are more understanding. What is the status? Because what's happening in Hamburg right now? Like, what are there any regulations in regards to COVID, or is it just the measles mandates for children? Like, could you talk about that for people that don't know?
Yeah, in all of Germany, we don't have any regulations for COVID anymore. So basically everything has been waived. The only thing which is still in place is the measles vaccine mandate for children, and also for health workers. And that's it. From the let's say from all these regulations, nothing is left from the COVID regulations. Yeah.
Another thing I was thinking is that this could be another way. Do you think they could use this argumentation for mandated health workers?
Yes, they are using it actually. There are some vaccines that are required for health workers, and also there are still some. I'm not sure if there are still some hospitals where you are required to wear a mask, like if you are actually a worker there. Not sure, but I know this from even 2 or 3 months ago. They still had to wear masks in the hospital, but it might be now waived also in that area all over Germany. Not sure about this, but still the vaccine, the measles vaccine, is a big problem. Because it's actually also quite dangerous. It has a lot of side effects, which are basically also hidden, because the side effects are not very well reported to our agency, to our authorities. And but this already improved a lot because of Corona. Now, even in the mainstream news, they are reporting that there are way more side effects due to the COVID vaccinations than actually were published by the authority. So this is now all over the place in our German news and in social media and so on. And they are now reporting a lot about side effects. There is a big focus on post-vac symptoms and so on. So this was basically a big shift over the past month, aiding with the public attention on these topics. But for them, I mean, for the people that potentially are behind this, or that use this for a bigger revenue stream, this is okay, because they already made millions and billions of dollars, right? If you check all the charts of the stocks of BioNTech, Pfizer, and Moderna, and so on, all the companies, they already had their golden era. People that were, in these companies, insiders and so on, they already sold a long time ago at the peak, and that's it. That was basically, from what I understand, one of the main reasons behind all of this, and to get a lot of money back, which was in the previous 10-20 years just burned, in the biotech industry. And like Stefan Lanka said very well and explained it, all of the invested money there was no return, basically. BioNTech was never able to market any product and so on before COVID, no mRNA products and so on. They just went on the stock exchange like 2 months before it. Then they had the big peak. I mean, the stock price increased many 100%, and yeah, it's very obvious. And now they are just crumbling. Everybody is selling it.
Yeah, it really still is very interesting times to kind of see how they play this, because I just think what you've really thrown is a huge spanner in the works, and its implications are huge. And for people their fear is that it would catch on and become, mainstream. And like you say, it's that awareness of not ever using vaccines, of what the pharmaceutical industry is, what is health. And I think lots of people are questioning that too. Have you had a change in that yourself over the time, or was it really after what happened with your grandma?
My grandma was my initial motivation, but then after she passed away, everything got sort of. I was motivated by basically what I read and what I saw, and the big discrepancies in the scientific field. And that got me really running in these topics. And then, of course, when Corona started, this was very, very motivating for me, because I could see the same patterns like in the pandemics before, and I was very eager to spread public attention right from the first day. I remember sitting down with my colleagues at my previous employer, where I worked before, at Airbus. And I remember talking to them in end of or beginning of February 2020 already, and telling them that there was no isolation. And they were like, what? There was not even mask mandates or whatever. This was really in the beginning. So yeah, from that's
so impressive, Marvin. I love you for that.
Actually, today they were like a lot of mainstream people where I work, but most of them now have the same view, which is very interesting. But it took them quite a while. But then actually I also received a lot of apologies from family and friends for the past years. And actually my sister, for example, or other people from my surroundings came to me and told me, sorry, apologies, you were right, and so on. So this was also a big, a big motivation for me to keep going.
Well, that's amazing that you say that, Marvin. I think, and it's humbling too, because it takes a lot to swallow your pride and come back and do that. And I'm sure your wish would have been, it's not that you want to be right, but you just want them not to go along with it in the first place.
Yeah, I just want to protect them, basically, right? My motivation is to have the best health for everybody, especially for my family and my friends, and for myself. And this is exactly as you said. I don't want to be right. I just want to be healthy. So that's basically it. Very easy.
Yeah, and so tell me what's happening with your work right now, because you've got a very nice profile picture. Tell me about what are you up to right now? Like, what's going on for you?
So the profile picture is already 1-2 years old, but I have been working all this time since 2021 already with Corona Fakten, the Telegram channel. They merged together with another channel, and they created a new media outlet or scientific platform called Next Level. And then they asked me if I was interested to work together with them and to be their spokesman or public relation topics and do interviews and so on. And then basically I was very happy and also humbled to receive this request. And I've been working together with them since officially since 2 months now, and they are supporting me, and I'm supporting them, and basically we are trying to improve the public attention on these topics further, and also to extend the knowledge not only on virology and germ theory, but also to other health topics. So I'm excited to see what projects we will have in the next weeks. And also I have some interesting ideas with Thorsten Engelbrecht, which we will.
I love it, by the way. Sorry, love this. Yes, tell me.
Yeah, I will do some projects with Thorsten in the next week. So stay tuned. Will be interesting.
Oh, that's so exciting. Cool, Marvin.
It will be fun.
Torsten's, one thing I love about him is he's always ahead of the game. He sees things like these are years out, and I think, wow, he's really good. So I won't spoil it. I won't ask. So can people, the next level, can people follow that? Is it in German, or can people follow it? Is there an English version, or what's? Yeah, could you talk about that?
Yeah, we have, we are mostly German, our content, but we also have a lot of translations. Many of our articles are also translated already, so there shouldn't be a problem to read it. And also most of the interviews, many of the interviews I do are actually translated also in English, or are in English even. We are just working together with different disciplines of scientists, so mathematicians, physicians, engineers like I am, and also biologists and virologists and so on. And we are trying to make the best out of it. And what we are basically doing is doing a lot of freedom of information requests, and also publishing articles that review papers, and we try to exactly point to where are the flaws in a paper, or why is a paper not scientific, what is missing for the scientific method to be completed. And then also we have a big focus on other topics like biology and universal health and so on. So should be interesting.
It sounds fantastic, Marvin. You're marvelous, Marvin. You really are. And,
thank you.
Yeah, I'm so thrilled. I think it sounds like you've found this path and purpose, and I feel the same of what you can do to try and help and inspire people as well to step up and to do things, not to be a passenger. I just wanted to thank you so much for your time, and I'd like to encourage people to stay tuned to the next level and follow what you're up to next, and we'll try and maybe check in and just hear about new projects with you. Is that okay?
Sure, of course. Thanks a lot, and hopefully we will hear back soon.